Got a pretty cool design going here on the train station. Need more blocks. Oh.
Hello and welcome to Yoda Soda Creations, the podcast. Group of friends to the business, soccer, movies, TV, look at recents. So on the news desk for this week, here's an interesting one. A pony card game is apparently hitting the tabletop simulator.
Really? New pony game?
I think I've heard something about that.
I believe there is an Equestria Daily article.
What's it based on?
Oh wow, you've done some improvements to the bridge.
Oh yes, the train station. I'm working on it as we speak. As you can see, are you looking at my stream? Ooh, shoot! That's what he did. Oh, he was dead. Better put some torches in those corners. Fuck those. Yeah, let's just do that.
Unfortunately, I'm a bit sneezy tonight, so I might not be chipping in as much as usual. Ugh.
There we go.
Send the love. Interesting. Is it fan?
It's for Tabletop Simulator. Of course, it's a fan game.
Well, I can certainly remember. Someone doing a video where doing a video of playing Trivia Mania on Tabletop Sim. So I'm pretty sure this is technically the first I've heard of a fan game going on the sim.
Twilight Sparkle's secret chipfic folder.
Huh, missed that.
Yeah, they've played it a few times on the Brony Show. like one of the two things I watch on Monday nights.
Frick.
So it seems that one of the Justice League stars wants to play the Martian Manhunter in a quote unquote Snyder cut.
Oh dear.
All right, I'm calling. All right, calling this next one a rumor. Calling this next one a rumor, considering there hasn't been any. Considering the leaked designs are still a thing, but apparently Twilight is not going to be in Gen 5.
Yeah, I heard about that. Which, since it's supposed to be, eh, I mean, I'm kind of okay with that because like we had Twilight Story, you know, it's like
Yeah, does that mean
we can't
no? Oh, sorry.
we we can't really. I mean, yeah, the original leaked design thing from a few years ago, but that was back then, and they probably decided like let's have some new characters and okay that's fine. Like the main six had their time in the spot, had their time to shine. Their stories have been told, so
Yeah, is it a all main six are not going to show up, or is it just Twilight Sparkle not going to show up?
It was just Twilight. I'm still get. I'm still getting that feeling that. I'm still getting that feeling that if I know My Little Pony, there's some certain names are still gonna certain names and designs and such are still gonna be somewhat present.
Oh well, yeah, we'll probably get
for as
hints
long as there's My Little Pony, there shall be an Applejack.
for some reason. Applejack just is universal.
Applejack is like the legacy character. It's like since Gen 1, there has been an Applejack.
Don't question it.
It was the only name they were able to maintain the rights to.
And they are going to hold on to it with all their strength.
Yes.
So I think it's safe to say this franchise. I think it's safe to say this franchise kind of disappeared somewhat, but the sixth Pirates movie is still a possibility.
Oh boy.
I haven't seen any of them past the third.
I've been itching to see them in full. I've only seen a few bits. You carry episode, you waste your only shot. He didn't waste it.
You remember that bit?
Okay, so here's something interesting. So here's an interesting plan. When the box offices open, when the box offices reopen, open towards the end of the when the box offices are cleared for reopening, apparently an Endgame re-release could help kickstart the process.
Really? I don't know. I feel like most people have seen it that want to see it.
I own it on Blu-ray.
Yeah. I'm not so sure about that. In other words,
Kickstart theater funding, basically. But let's face it. But let's face it. There are several movies you wish you were re-released on the big screen because you want to try and relive that experience.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, if Disney really wanted to cash in on it, the original theatrical release of Star Wars in the theater.
That would do it.
Like, hey, you want to see the original version? Well, for one night only.
Here we go. What?
And I could bet you, sold out.
Getting back to getting back to sequel possibilities, the Tron sequel is still up in the talks.
Really?
I've never actually seen Tron.
What? You haven't seen Tron? Which one?
Nope.
The new one or the old one?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I can forgive you for like not seeing. I don't know. I mean, the first one isn't that great, but I don't know. It's kind of like just one of those movies you got to see, right?
There's been all I know is there's been an interesting history. The first one got a cult following over the years. Second one, there's been a pretty much a mixed reaction all around.
It was fun. I watched. It's kind of one of those, those movies that aren't good, but you kind of like them as a kid. That's kind of mine because I watched it like a zillion times as a kid with my friend. So I kind of have a soft spot for it, and that I've seen it so many times. But I can get when other people don't like it because I fundamentally understand why it's not good. But it's cool. So.
And of course, has a design all its own.
It's pretty. It's a very pretty movie for. It's aged, I think, pretty decently.
Seems to have some Marvel rumors around Krasinski.
Interesting. I forgot to do this section. Oops.
Even Sam Raimi has been attached to direct the next Doctor Strange movie.
Ooh.
Doctor Strange is kind of one of those movies that I don't know, it's kind of fun. I always liked wizards, and it's fun to kind of get a superhero wizard. I don't know. He's kind of one of those characters I'd definitely watch any movie that came out with him, and he's kind of charismatic too, who they cast for. He's kind of like snarky, and I always like that type of character. What about you guys?
Yeah.
He's kind of like a magic Iron Man, in a way. He's kind of cocky because he knows he can be, and it's fun. It's kind of like a good excuse to have really sex as well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's always just, wow, magic, whoa. His fight with Thanos in which one was it? Endgame was really cool looking. Probably one of the more cool looking fights in that movie. CG guys must have been like, ugh. When they're working on that.
these were mentioned prior to watching tonight's feature, as well as the actual stream itself. Seems Steven Spielberg saved
Yes.
He is. Got us at the edge of our seats, Alex.
Sorry, but for some reason my notes got changed around a bit. But it seems Steven Spielberg saved Babu Frick, aka that droid technician responsible for the forbidden language translation in Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, it was that little dude. Little dude.
I was like, oh yeah, that character.
Probably the only interesting character in the movie.
There was an interesting character in the movie.
I know, it's shocking.
On a related note, Star Wars Day is going to be graced with the Clone Wars finale.
Oh my gosh. Oof. That first episode in the, I think it's 4 episodes arc, which is insane. Well, I mean, if this arc is as good as the first episode was, watch this over the movies any day, hands down. So good. It is so good. If you don't want to watch,
Come on. Keep going.
if you want to, if you have like a little bit of, if you only can choose one arc from this last season, definitely do this one. It is so good. It opens like the movies, and that the other ones have, the yellow text and kind of like the crawl, and it's like, like kind of like the little
Classic.
Clone Wars. Yeah, the Clone Wars opening. This one has, they changed the text to be green like the originals, and they made it like, so they made all the text green, and they had more classic music that played, and there was like, I don't think there was any intro really. No, they did have an intro, and it hinted at, it's creepy. It's starting to get creepy because it's butting right up against Revenge of the Sith. Like, you see General Grievous in like his kind of damaged state that you see him in the Invisible Hand in the movie, and they're like, attack on Coruscant. You see, like, oh gosh, we're getting right down to the end of it. Like, this is it. And then you see a bunch of the characters that get killed in like in the Order 66, and like what planet they're on too. So, like Shakti and stuff like that, they're on Felicia and stuff. They show like a little snippet of that, and you Plo Koon on that like gas planet that he dies, that gets shot. He gets shot down in. You're like, oh gosh, it's getting right there. We're getting really close. So it's kind of tense, and you get a lot of great Ahsoka. Get a lot of, it's kind of, as people say, Ahsoka is kind of the main character. Ahsoka and Anakin are like the main character of Clone Wars, so they're kind of finishing it off. To be honest, you could just skip the last 2 arcs and still be fine. This last arc with Ahsoka is pretty slow burner. I think they knew that, and they've kind of just, you don't have to watch that one to get what's happening, kind of. It was not bad, but as people have been saying, it's like the last 2 arcs have been good to average on the Clone Wars scale, but this one was like, oh, the action, oh, the visuals, oh, It was just all so beautiful, and the visuals took a huge spike, and animation took a huge spike with these last episodes. It feels like they knew that they didn't want to get spend way more time on these episodes. And they're setting so much up. Like Obi-Wan gets some time with Cody, which is obviously, if Cody shoots at Obi-Wan, spoiler alert if you haven't watched the movie for somehow. Just watch it. You just gotta watch it. Maybe we'll watch it. Maybe we should do it. We should watch it. You guys haven't seen Clone Wars, have you?
I've
Nope.
heard about it.
Oh my gosh. Ahsoka, you don't even know who Ahsoka is.
I think it's
I know who Ahsoka is.
yeah.
But you don't even know her character. It's like it's like if you had Twilight, but you're like, yeah, I've seen Twilight, but you don't know Twilight.
Yeah, from what I've heard, Ahsoka is like one of those characters who starts off kind of annoying, but really, really grows as a character.
Yeah, actually, this Ahsoka's arc is like actually how you do a character arc. Like she starts out freaking annoying. I thought I was gonna hate her first time I saw her, and then she slowly learns. She learns from Anakin and acts like young Anakin for a while and is reckless, and then slowly learns the deeper, darker meanings of stuff, and then slowly starts to get what's happening, and it's just so good. You go from Ahsoka being kind of one of the more hated and annoying. You can go back and read like reviews of the first Clone Wars movie, and it still does suck. The first Clone Wars movie is not good. But you go back and read, how...
Is it essential viewing, or can you skip it?
It introduces Ahsoka, so I'd say you kind of have to watch it. It's not terrible, right? It's definitely watchable. There's some fun action in it, right? It's just they played it like a movie, like it was like a theatrical release, right? Which it wasn't. They originally, so why it got overhyped and a bunch of people sucks, like really bad, is because it was hyped up like a movie, right? But it was made as the show. They made it for the show, and what it is actually is like 5 episodes they just edited together into a movie. So the pacing feels weird because, well, it was supposed to be a TV show, not a movie.
Yes, that.
So the
I
classic,
get that.
yeah, the classic kind of weird pacing where there's big jumps and you're like, what the heck, right? What are they doing here? Like, well, that would have been a cut. And then there would have been, oh, they've flown to here, and you're like, oh, that makes more sense. But you just get a jump cut, and they're like on a different planet, and you're like, what, And the animation is really stiff. Oh my gosh! If you go watch the first movie, as you said, right, and watch their talking in animation, and then you go jump to this season, it's such a difference. Like the animation wise, same with it's kind of like Pony, where you go to first episodes of Pony, and everyone just stands still, and they just say stuff, and they kind of go like this with their heads, right? And you go to the last season, and they're expressive, and they're going, "Wee, yeah!" It's all animated. Same type of deal. They get more and more confident with their animation, and it's fun. It's like you get to see the animators grow as well. Definitely, like everyone I've heard of that is a Star Wars fan and hasn't watched Clone Wars. And then goes and watches it, never regrets it. They always think it was like, how did I not watch this beforehand? So, if you have not seen Clone Wars, I'm telling you, quick, you gotta catch it up. Some people have been rumoring, this is a rumor to go into news, get us kind of back on course. Some people are rumoring maybe, because some of the artists and stuff have been saying things like oh, I'm glad you've been liking Clone Wars, and give us feedback and what you like about it, and as we're working on it, and you're like, what, working on it? You know what I mean? So it seems like they've been hinting at they're working on something. So maybe we'll get another TV show. Maybe it's not Clone Wars, but maybe something like Clone Wars, which would be kind of cool. I'm sure Disney's probably pushing them to do that because Clone Wars and stuff are like big hitters for
Yeah.
why people want even want their subscription, if you know what I mean. A lot of
Here's
people
my
are.
It's like, where the hell did I put my drink?
A lot of people only have a Disney Plus for stuff. So like, if they can do more Clone Wars, they're definitely probably gonna.
It's like, if you have Disney Plus, it's either for Star Wars or for Marvel.
Yeah, that's kind of it right now.
And then there's that one weird who got it for like what was it, the Nat Geo or whatever.
Yeah, Simpsons. Someone watch Simpsons. Come on. No, I've never watched Simpsons. It's one of those series that I've never really wanted to touch because it looks so big. You know what I mean? I guess it'd kind of like if a non-pony pony person kind of saw a pony and they're like, I don't want to get into it. Episode. But yeah, resident Star Wars fan, thumbs up to these coming episodes. Hang on.
Well, it makes sense that they're since towards season 3, since both the CG and the original cartoon are supposed to take place between the last two prequels.
Yes, they are. It's okay. Doesn't really give away anything, but they meet up the characters and there's like they're talking about stuff and planning for things, and then there's like and like Coruscant is being attacked by the Separatists, and you're like, oh gosh, this is this is a big scene. Coruscant that starts the third movie.
Yeah, Coruscant's being attacked by the Fire Nation. Got it.
Not again. So the events of this, but right up against the movie, and I think there's 4 episodes left. And we've only done, there's 3 episodes left out of the 4. So this one introduces the Battle of Coruscant, so I'm guessing we'll probably get one or two of the episodes after Order 66. So, ooh.
So pretty much an epilogue.
Kind of, yeah. I guess we'll probably see hints at where Ahsoka ended up in this. Because Ahsoka doesn't die, spoiler alert, but she's in Rebels, so it's not that much of a spoiler. You've seen Rebels. I mean, most people have seen Ahsoka in Rebels, if you're a Star Wars fan.
I was just thinking about, so the whole Order 66 thing, like, oh, hey, we've been ordered to kill you guys. You guys we've been fighting with for all this time. It's like, you have to imagine that like, that's like complete mind control thing. Like, you have to imagine that might, like, people might have, like, how should I put it? Some of them might have some feelings about that.
It's a chip.
Yeah.
In the show, it's explained as being a chip in their brains that they can't control. And if you've watched the Clone Wars, there might be something about that. I don't want to spoil anything because I might watch it with you guys. I don't want to spoil that, but that's maybe possibly, kind of, maybe.
It's we're fighting these guys, like, execute Order 66.
Execute
Order
66.
Like, pew 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 pew. How what? Shit! What the hell?
Bruh. This window might be a reference to something. I don't know. Could be.
Well, it looks like a phrase from the DK. Well, it looks like a phrase in the DK reader. Well, it looks like a phrase from a DK book I remember reading. Won't be retconned any moment soon. Because apparently, because as I'm hearing, apparently Ahsoka's one of the surviving Jedi that's besides Yoda and Ben Kenobi, obviously.
Yes. Ahsoka is canonly not dead. She's not in the, it's been, yeah, she's one of the survivors. Bells rung. I've run 20 bells. Let me bump that up a bit. Hang on one sec. Can you see my screen, by the way?
Yep.
Yes.
How do I click it faster? Like a freehand. There we go. Okay, that's better. What is that up to now? Where is it? I guess it'd be bells rung. Yep, 62. There you go. That's better.
Getting back into the comic book movie spectrum, seems WB's Flash could move forward without Ezra Miller. Seems there was a bit of a controversy regarding that.
Ezra is in this episode. Oh no, sorry, not Ezra. Kanan. As a little insider. Little hint. Oh, there we go. Okay. Items, times broken, times mined. Let's see, how many times have I mined a cup stone? Gee whiz. Can't find stone in this. Cobblestone. I've only done 1,000. Much. Did 32k stone.
So here's a couple of interesting counts regarding Wolverine. Seems Jack Black was considered for the. Seems Jack Black is being considered
Hugh
for the. Seems Jack Black is being.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman's like if they had bought up the Fox movies earlier, like Hugh Jackman would have been the MCU Wolverine.
Yeah, that was the second part. The other one is that Jack is being considered for the role. Oh boy, that's going to be a little interesting. Seems some canceled DC games have gotten their online leak.
Yeah, boy.
Yellow.
Mark Ruffalo. Seems all for another standalone Hulk film, as well as the possibility of She-Hulk appearing in the MCU is on the table.
Nice.
The next Captain Marvel sequel could pave way to another Avengers movie.
Okay, like I'm trying to think. Okay, Avengers film. Like, okay, they've done Ultron, Loki, Thanos. It's like,
Well,
who?
Well, as much as I hate to reference this comic book story, but Avengers Tower was in One More Day.
Could do that. Probably get more. What happens to Doctor Strange? I mean, he's usually there for most of the big battles or starting of the big battles. Not to say it's his fault.
Oh god, if they did that storyline, I'd be like, they would either have to do it very differently, or people would be pissed.
That's the fun part. I imagine I imagine there's going to be some interesting reactions regarding either how it regarding the well, there's going to be an audience that will either either keep track of how accurately it follows the storyline, or if it's different, or if these different, and then there's the other side that will question whether that will analyze whether the differences are for the better.
Cool.
Right. I mean, given what happened at the end of Far From Home, I can kind of see how it would end up going in that direction. But the problem is, like, and if they introduce like a key character in the film, and it's like, I, I'm kind of hoping like the next Avengers tones it down a bit. Like, I mean, you just had Thanos. You can't have them all being like huge, like universal consequences events type of thing. You know?
I get that. Yeah. Far From Home was a pretty good one in that it did kind of lower the stakes a bit. Well, it had weird stakes. Have you watched Far From Home? I'm guessing.
Not yet, but I've read the TV tropes page.
Can you guess what it is?
Hold on, I was looking at another page. Oh, hi, Bill. Yeah, it's like I decided to like the golden triangle. Like, wait, is he building the Church of the Holy Triforce?
I think I'll try to accentuate his bow tie more.
For some weird reason, I was thinking, Sully!
You look like a smiley face.
Yes.
Get rid of that.
I needed that.
That's exactly the same thing.
Come on, think of a better Microsoft sequel. Yeah. Step psychic. We're not. Yeah.
Oh, now he's unhappy.
It kind of does look like one, but I don't know. It's not. Let's see if that's. Oh. Actually, to get the scaffolding out of the way.
Yeah, it's like.
Anyway, getting back to Spider-Man.
Ooh, that's creepy. Maybe I'll just not do the tie and I'll do black around his eye. That might help. I think that would look okay.
Seems there's some rumors revolving around it.
Yeah.
The next film, at least.
What kind of rumors?
Inform us. Maybe I'll move the eye down one. Just make it bigger. Lots of eye-themed structures around here.
Yeah, well, the people on the server are very selfish.
There we go. I think I like that better. What do you think?
It's like everyone's always building stuff about themselves. Like,
Aye. Well, that's creepy.
looks good.
Kind of like it though, yeah. I'll do the other one. It's kind of hard to notice from the inside, which I kind of like. It's striking from the outside, but from the inside, it's just kind of not too garish. You wouldn't want that. No.
So here's the best.
Shoot, maybe I should take a screenshot of this. That's creepy. Looking down upon you.
One of these is that the title is going to be Home Run.
Like a football game?
Ooh, idea. What if behind the eye you had a bit of lighting, so the eye glows?
That would be creepy. I'll do that.
You're welcome.
I take no credit. I take all the credit. Probably gonna have to go. Let's go to the Nether to get some glowstone.
Peter may be on the run from possibly Craven the Hunter.
Ooh. Oh. Not bad. That could work.
Seems either Henry or Jason, the Superman Aquaman, are being eyed for the role.
Jason! There's some glowstone up there. Num num num. Don't mind if I do.
Craven, Typhrather, Chameleon, and Scorpion are also rumored in.
As long as the film doesn't get bogged down with too many villains.
Yeah. Aquaman got close to having that. Aquaman was just nuts, so I allow it. It never took itself too seriously, which is good. But Marvel doesn't have that going right now. You know what I mean? They're kind of going for, I guess the stakes are serious, but you know the heroes can be funny. You know, type of gig they got going right now, which is kind of like a very kid-friendly model. They're not trying to be too scary, but the stakes are real for adults. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're on a fine line. I'm liking how this is coming out. This is friends working on this. Okay, let's see what your suggestion looks like.
And finally, Jennifer Walters' She-Hulk might be Peter's lawyer.
Yes, I can get behind that.
On a semi-related note, there's something about Tom Holland. There's something about a Tom Holland Cherry movie, but there's also something that he could be. But there's also discussion he could be Oscar worthy.
Tom Holland. He's a pretty good actor. Okay,
Yeah.
here we go. Ooh.
So, does it work?
What do you think? Ouch.
I think you're being attacked.
Not for long. I think I like it. I'll leave it.
Okay, upcoming American crime drama film directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, screenplay by Jessica Goldberg, and Angela Russo Otistot, based on the novel of the same name by Nick Walker. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Do you like that?
Okay.
And finally, the casualty report for this week. Again, the causes are going to vary, but we have racing legend Sir Sterling Moss. We have Rick May, the voice of the TF2 soldier.
I've heard that. My gosh.
And more recently, Gene Deitch, a legendary animator for the Popeye and Tom and Jerry cartoons.
I feel like most of these people, luckily, well, not luckily, but are pretty old in general. It's not like specially from anything. It's not the pandemic.
Also, a few casualties in the gaming scene. Paul had to add the voice of Resident Evil 2's Leon. And, hold on. Page is a bit slow. Okay. Keiji Fujiwara, the Japanese voice is Axel from Kingdom Hearts, and Reno from the Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Lots of voice
Like,
actors.
ugh. Also, San Diego Comic-Con has been cancelled.
Darn it. We won't see any cosplays this year. Well, from there at least. Pony's convention here is still going on. And I hope they keep it because there's not much. It's showing signs of going away. In a lot of places like here in the Washington, it has actually been quite significantly stamped down. So I do hope most places are kind of getting into the okay, well, we can start opening up again feel.
I was just looking at the page for that last voice actor. Apparently, he was also the Japanese dub for Tony Stark.
Really?
In the MCU.
That's strange.
Yeah. Interesting.
How old was he?
Hold on.
many doors, yes.
Let me go back a page. Trying to find the article on Anime News Network. Meanwhile, the browser's kind of been stuttering a bit. 55.
Young.
It was cancer.
Yeah, that'd do it.
Yeah.
On a lighter note, do you
So
want
on
to
to
cover...
more
Yeah, sorry.
on to slightly, but not quite so, more or positive things.
No, for something completely different. For any Monty Python enthusiasts out there.
Granted, I heard that clip on a YouTube parody video of sorts, but I get what you mean.
I get what you're going for.
Man, I used to watch Monty Python when they had episodes on demand and on with Comcast. Back when on demand actually used to have content. Those were good Those were good times.
Good times. Did I get that right, do you think? Let's go look.
Yeah, it's like nowadays all the shows and movies are going to like the individual company's own streaming services, and like on demand has nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, why even bother?
I don't know.
So you
But anyway,
had something on a positive note.
Recap.
yeah, well, I said slightly mildly more positive, maybe. I mean, it's not exactly a completely happy tale, so you know.
People die.
This is kind of a downer week.
I didn't do it, it's not me.
But yeah, let's get into the recap.
Yeah. It's getting late already.
Yes, we should. Yes, we should. Yes, we can now turn our attention to the next interesting little corner from my childhood.
Very interesting.
Journey Home: The Animals of Farthing Wood.
The American dub.
Yeah, so what was it originally made for? What?
It was originally like a UK thing, and it was like more serious and didn't have musical numbers.
That would explain the death scenes.
Also, it was like a 13 episode season of a 3-season series.
That would also explain the compression. I think this is kind of done.
Yeah, it's like you know, American children, they can't handle anything serious.
Death and suffering.
No, they didn't die. They were sent to the Shadow Realm, or they were captured.
Destroyed. That's what Pony says usually.
That is one
They were
thing.
destroyed. I'm like, so they were dead.
That is one thing a lot of people who have seen the UK dub should give this version credit for. They didn't tone it down, per se. Well, didn't completely tone it down.
It's still pretty violent.
Yeah, critters die when they are killed.
Who knew? Well, I mean, they did. Sorry.
And boy, oh boy, do quite a lot of things die in this film
Yeah,
series. Or whatever.
So it was originally made for like more film, I guess.
Well, it's originally based off of a series of books.
Ah, those books, those dark books, always being dark and moody.
Yeah, fun fact. Real reason why we're never gonna have a final Narnia movie is how do you explain to the children that all of the characters are dead?
They do die in Narnia.
Yeah,
Even in yeah.
except one.
I think system is kind of done. We can do some touch ups, but I think I'm liking where it is. What do you guys think?
It's good.
Looking pretty decent.
So, want to start the recap?
Yep, go for it.
Yep.
Are you doing it, Red Pony, because you know it better? Or the best, probably.
I think there's been a lot of cases of us. I think there's been a lot of cases of us taking turns, so I wouldn't be too surprised if there's a few of the people who turned in.
I might chip in here and there.
So we have a quaint little introduction with some nicely painted backgrounds.
Enjoy the color while it lasts.
Yeah, unfortunately the upload that we watched was not in good contrast.
It is literally a VHS flip, because that is all it was ever released on. Well, this version anyway. Apparently, in Germany, there is a DVD set for seasons 1 and 2.
So if you ever want
Which,
to watch
I
an
mean-
scare,
Theoretically, you could edit those videos into, the movie. But why would you want to do that?
I swear,
be like a 6-hour-long movie.
I swear though, the English, the original British episodes that I saw were in better contrast. The individual uploads.
That's kind of weird. That why would you make an English dub? It's like it's already in English.
Well,
Or I mean,
let's just say that British and American terminologies are different.
like slightly. I guess they spelled color differently, and they used torch instead of flashlight. Bonnet.
Also, maybe the voice of Fox was too British for their tastes.
Too British.
I don't know. I haven't heard the original.
But yeah, the opening narration is of Fox, and in this version, he's played by the Karate Kid himself.
But yeah, in this thing, the animals don't have names. It's just fox, owl, badger, snake, snake, snake.
Dun,
Sorry.
dun, 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 dun.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
I think adder's a type of snake.
Oh, it was Adder. I forgot. Way to go, movie, ruining my one joke.
They're really into math. So you got Sauron up here. Oh my.
Don't fall down there.
I almost did. I almost just ran straight in and jumped. A tower.
And like field mice, pheasant, hedgehogs. But come on, hedgehog, which one? Both of you.
How did I get in?
So yeah, it was said they were. So yeah, it was said the original home is pretty much from their beginnings, basically. And then I'm pretty sure we all know the joke that came. And then came one of the more popular jokes to come around when things go wrong. If one of you could take it away.
I forget exactly what it was, but it's like, man.
In this case, it was something like the Earth Kingdom attacked.
Fire
Oh
Nation.
yeah. Oh no. Oh, it was the Earth Movers, so it was the Earth Kingdom.
You can't. I'm fending off the Eye of Sauron. The race. But if we'll...
But yeah, ponds are getting filled and everything's getting bulldozed, and it's like, yeah, we can't stay here anymore. So it was like they hold a gathering, an assembly. It's like, hey, I haven't had one of those in a while. Yeah, well, we've been due to the quarantine, we haven't been able to gather lately. Anyway, but yeah, it's like they're trying to figure out what to do, and then Toad comes in. It's like, hey, I've been around, and it's like, I found this nice place. It's called White Deer Park. Apparently, it's like an animal preserve. Like, it'll be really nice there. It's like okay.
Oh no! Oh no, he's gonna die!
Anyway. Oh no!
You can't crouch. You have to just crouch it. When you on your lion block.
It's like, yeah, do not type on magma blocks.
It hurts.
Right. There's a slight, like, it's a long trip, and there happen to be some creatures who kind of eat other creatures.
Fox.
And Fox. But mostly Adder.
This hurts. I haven't taken a heart of damage yet. Jeez. Okay, there you go. Yes.
But it's like, okay, we'll take the oath of equal protection or whatever it was. I almost made a joke during the recording, like, yes, the oath of equal protection. Everyone must wear a condom.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, okay, don't eat others. Just don't leave others behind. Don't be a dick.
Sounds like communist propaganda.
At the egg, they all agree. Added reluctantly. Like, yeah, sure, I won't eat anyone. Except maybe when you're not looking. Yeah. Safe. So they head off on their journey and let's see now, what was the first thing that happened? I know it wasn't the farm. I don't think it was the farm. I mean, that's like the first major thing. Want to chip in here?
I believe there was.
Well, I have like the major story points in my head, but not like the in between stuff.
How many?
I believe there was a home pool first. I can still.
Yes, the pool.
I can still remember questioning whether that was treated.
If there were any changes in the dub.
No, it was from Nate regarding chlorine and all that stuff.
Oh, yes. They find a swimming pool. It's like, hey, we're thirsty. Can we take a drink? Like, yeah, sure, why not? But be quiet. Don't want to wake up the people.
Proceeds to sing.
Yes, everyone's drinking the water or swimming, except the rabbits, because the rabbits don't like the water. But the frog's like, oh, hey, hop in. The water's nice. It's like, no. Frog's like, oh, yeah, it's easy. Go like this. Like, swims in the water, jumps up onto the floaty thing that the rabbits are on. It's like half over the edge of the pool, with like 3 on the back and holding it down, and 3 on the front and hanging over the pool, so it's like kind of dangling a bit. And then the frog jumps on and like, oh hey, the balance of weight shifted. Back and forth, squeak, squeak, squeak. Oh hey, the people woke up.
What did I tell you?
And there's this cat that's trying to get out of the door flap, but it's too fat.
Door stuck. Door stuck. Please. I beg you. We're dead.
Adder hisses at it. Adder hisses at everything.
Aren't adders like a weird little... They're like a weird small snake, aren't they? And like a water snake or something like that.
Yeah, adders are pretty small. Except black adders. Those are played by Rowan Atkinson.
Yep, BRB.
Interesting note. The U.S. dub voice for Adder, as well the other dub voice for Adder, as well as the Weasel. She was in a couple of Nirvana cartoon. She was in a couple of Nirvana cartoons. There was Martin the Tap Dancing Horse, and there's also Timothy Goes to School.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those. And honestly, it was halfway south like those weird 90s educational computer games. You know?
There were a couple of 2000 book cartoons that were on PBS blog.
There's the issue. I didn't watch that channel.
Well, I didn't have cable. And I still don't.
Yeah, that'd do it. Whereas with me, it's like, oh, hey, Cartoon Network. And WB. I'm guessing he got up and had to do something.
Sounds like, yeah, it sounded like a door. Yeah, there were some door sounds from what I heard.
Yeah. Also on his stream, he's staring out the window. So I guess we'll wait for him. I guess.
Hopefully, he shouldn't be too long.
Right. Ooh, also, I don't know if you do it with your uploads, but like maybe add like a add like if you want to skip straight to like the review recap, head to this point here in the video. Just an idea. Because we do tend to ramble on for a while, you know. So while we're waiting for him to get back, so yeah, it's like assuming my sinuses are clear tomorrow, I plan on recording some MC Eternal. I actually plan on, well, first to do the initial recording and do sound editing. Then I plan on both uploading like the recording session itself, and then the individual episodes. Like, if you want like one long thing to watch, that's fine. If you want smaller chunks that have been edited down, those will be released one part per day. I'm thinking like doing a split between that and the Final Fantasy VII remake. Yeah, I plan on going for like 20-ish minute chunks. Like big enough to have a decent amount of content, but small enough where it's something light you can watch if you're just waiting on something, you know? Oh right, shopping tomorrow. Okay, that'll cut into recording. And maybe tomorrow or maybe Monday. Monday might be better. I don't know. we'll see how tomorrow goes. Yeah, trying to get started on this whole thing's been kind of a pain. Like yesterday, it's like I was having issues with the mod pack. Basically, I'd start up the new world, like, ooh, hey, some sugarcane. Break the sugarcane. Sugarcane disappears. Break some grass. Oh, seeds. Seeds disappear. And it's like, okay. Turns out I have to wait about a minute to 2 minutes for the world to properly load up all the way before I can actually start gathering items. Let's just say after the messing around I did with that, I kind of wasn't really in the mood to record anymore. And then, of course, the aforementioned sinus issues for today. But yeah, I plan on creating a bit of a backlog before I start uploading videos. Just in case I have any days like today, where it's like, yeah, I'm not getting anything done. Uh, so let's see now. So it was pool, farm. I want to say there was something between the farm and the river incident. Or was there? I'll pull up the video. Okay, yeah, it's like pool, farm, river, musical number, hunt, Frogger. Oh, wait. Yeah, there's that. Oh, yeah, that. Okay, I might skip over that character because they contributed nothing. Alright, no, not Frogger yet. That place, then Frogger. Okay. Just getting my pieces in order.
Okay, so I won't be going through that bush, apparently.
Yeah, that bush shorts. So, for like other Minecraft stuff, I've been watching Captain Sparkle's Island Isolation series. Actually, pretty interesting.
I was just about to... something.
Arrived back, I have.
Jeez, what drove you
Takes
out
me a
this
while
time?
to walk around. Huh?
What drove you out this time?
Water. Water.
Oh yes,
I just put
gotta
up a brick
stay.
wall in front of your door.
I think I said at one point, anti-mob extra kind of thing.
Now you're really anti-mob.
So anyway, we just finished up the pool party.
Dang, that took a long time to go to the pool party. It's gonna.
Yeah, well, we were waiting on you.
What?
You kind of left during the. You kind of left around that
Spider.
part.
I'm getting the candy out of my bag. Hang on. Just getting attacked by.
Don't take too long.
I got it.
Hey, you really need to light up your place better.
Yeah, I kind of noticed. Yeah.
So,
So anyways,
next,
go ahead.
next was the unstable bullet.
The asshole farmer got it.
Oh.
So yeah, it starts raining. It's like, yeah, we should probably find some cover. So they find this barn. It's like, okay, we'll stay here for now till the rain dies down. It's like, oh, okay, you guys keep. I was like, Pheasant 1, keep watch for this. Then Pheasant 2, watch, and then I'll take the night shift. It's like, okay.
Started with. To be precise, it started with Kestrel. Pheasant relieved her later, or was supposed to relieve her later, and then it was supposed to be Owl's turn.
Yeah, long story short, or Pheasant wasn't really feeling like getting up, so it's like, Kestrel's like, well, I mean, I guess I don't have to wake anyone up. It's like, eh. Then I can only assume that Kestrel fell asleep, because next thing we know, it's morning. And, hey, people are waking up. Oh, hey, the dog's there, farmer's got a gun. Oh, Kestrel. Bang, bang.
Actually, that was the female pheasant. that
Whatever. Bird is dead.
it was we didn't quite go fully into the details of the things between the pool and the farm, but basically there was a basically to further explain the to further explain the unstable bullet. Basically it was an unused cartridge that was tossed. Should not be, as Nate noted, should not have imploded at impact, which led me to questioning, was it related to the SKS rifle?
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Like, I know nothing about guns except bullets. Ow.
I mean, SKS is just. I mean, they can take. What are you talking about? Like steel casings or brass?
You remember that Mythbusters episode where subwoofers and high explosive shockwaves were apparently enough to set off rifles without any
I don't remember that episode.
without.
Did it work? Kind of doubt it.
I think it was the second one, the high explosive shockwave, that produced actual results.
Huh.
I mean, a bullet going off, just exploding, is not even that deadly because it just blows up. Like, there's no. Well, the whole thing of a bullet is it's in a chamber when it goes off, and that's what makes the bullet go forward really fast. If with no chamber or no breach, it just kind of blows up, and it doesn't really. It's actually not that explosive. There's not much gunpowder. When they say 50 grains, they mean like 50 grains of gunpowder. So it's tiny. It's a tiny amount of gunpowder. If you've ever actually broken a bullet open, like the tip off of one, actually taking the bullet off of a shell, there's like a tiny handful of gunpowder in each bullet, because you don't need much gunpowder to make a bullet go quite fast. So
Yeah, it's like the main gun. The main gun thing from Mythbusters I remember is that bullets are basically useless in water.
Oh yeah, they're not magical. If they hit water, which is quite dense,
They basically fall apart.
they dissipate. Their velocity is incredibly halved. Oh.
But yeah, it's like yeah, there's this bit where like one of the animals found this bullet, messed around with it, and it basically it blew up.
Which I was surprised about, because I've actually dropped bullets, stepped on them, and like if a pheasant made a bullet go off, I'd have to take my hat off. It's quite surprising. Where the heck did my iron go? Like, I just ran by those wraith guys. Woo!
But yeah, so
Yeah, you run away.
Shortly after that, there was a fire, which is why you should douse the cigarette before you toss it.
yeah, okay, so I forgot about the fire. Like I said, I remembered the major plot points. Like the fire pit, it kind of felt like a tacked on PSA. And like, hey, don't throw your cigarettes away; it'll start a fire.
Clearly, that's clearly a sign that this was a TV series.
Yeah.
several parts of this felt very PSA-y, kind of in their phrasing and don't do this, don't do that. It's bad. Environment is good. It's very simplified.
Yeah, there was a fire, or Fox had to rescue Toad, and Mole was like digging around. Like Mole was practically the safest one there.
Yeah.
And like, and after the fire, it's like Mole digs up, like, oh no, oh, I'm in an apocalyptic wasteland. Where are my friends? Also, Mole is blind during the day, so can't see anything. And then the birds have to distract the fireman or whatever, but well, Fox goes to grab Mole, and it's like,
Like they're actually people. Just like the voice acting is very apparent here.
It's funny. It's like with voice acting like this, you can date the voice acting. It's like, oh yeah, this voice acting that was around this time, like around this year.
Yeah, they've kind of moved away from. Well, if it's an animal, they will actually just get the animal noise
Yeah.
type of deal. It's not that hard to look up, a audio file of just a dog barking or something instead of just going bark, bark, bark. Much easier and more.
So like, I was just trying to speed things up because it's like 11:30 and.
Yeah, keep going. You're on a roll.
So getting back to the farm, they're trying to find a way out and pass the farmer and such.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, what do we do? The farmer's going to on that bird's dead. Okay. Oh no, a dog. I was like, don't you even dare. But yeah, they're stuck. They're stuck in the barn. They need to get out. Okay, plan. Let's dig a hole. Okay, Mole, dig hole. Problem. Floor is wood. Solution. I believe it was the rabbits and some other critters bite through the wood so Mole can dig a hole. Meanwhile, Adder is outside, hides in a bucket to keep an eye on things, and it's like, okay. So it's like, okay, we need to get out, and the farmer's like, hey, I think there's something in the barn, and the dog's blocking the way. It's like, and everyone's really through the hole. It's just Fox left. Fox starts heading down the hole. Farmer sees Fox. Hey, it's a fox! But Fox gets through the hole, and the farmer shoots the hole, hits nothing. Okay. So we have one casualty. Oops, we forgot Adder. Okay.
How are we going to do that?
Someone should go back to get Adder. And I forget. Pheasant, right. I knew it was a bird. Pheasant goes back to the farm and like, hey, Adder, where are you, Adder? And it's like, sakes, hey, you shouldn't be out in the open like this. Like, oh, well. And like, I know exactly about, where are you, Adder? It's like, farmer's like, oh, hey, bird, I'ma shoot it.
I'ma shoot it. Just like real life. What? People don't just shoot random things, but it's like the pheasant.
Whoa.
And especially in their house too. Like you're shooting it. your brick wall, you just shoot your shotgun right in your house, near your house.
But yeah, Adder soon rejoins the party. But whether or not Pheasant's body was ever found, we don't know.
They have joined your.
But or basically what I'm getting at is like, okay, Adder was hungry. Dead bird. I don't remember Adder or complaining about hunger after that.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Just saying. So anyway, so party's mostly intact. Minus a couple birds.
They were slowing him down anyways, no.
And, right, next
Ouch.
was...
I think you got a car coming your way.
Really? Are you on the tracks?
No, but I saw movement across this area here.
The next part, as I call it, oh dear God, turn down the contrast.
We've hit the contrast wall.
So they need to get over a river. Like, okay, river's not moving that much.
Should be fine.
Oh, hey, rivers are active than we thought. Oh, hey, there's a bunch of stuff floating down the river. Oh, whoops. It captured Badger. Was it Badger and Fox?
I think it started off with the rabbits not have. I think it started off with the rabbits not. Getting a little.
Right, the rabbits don't like water. I remember that from the pool part.
It was just an empty mine cart for some reason.
But yeah, it's like anytime where it featured water, it was just like pure white on the video. It's like,
Blindingly
oh
white.
hey, the animators were lazy. They didn't color any of the water in.
Like I said, it's a major contrasting fault in the rip.
Yeah. Like, no. It was a stylistic choice.
Yeah, come on.
Also, budget-saving measures.
Maybe a bit of all of it.
But yeah, Badger and Fox get swept away by a log, and they manage to save Badger, but yeah, Fox kind of went over a waterfall, as you do. Like whenever there's a river like this, there's always a waterfall. Always a waterfall.
Yeah.
Don't
It's
question
like-
it.
It's like, okay, we saved Badger. How's Fox? I don't know. He's probably dead. Like, seriously, Owl was very pessimistic.
It's not me.
It's like, he's probably dead, let's move on.
Next.
But like, one of the birds went out to look for him, but couldn't find him, and some of the others want to stay and wait for Fox, and I think it was like the field mice wanted to stay
I
along
think that's
with.
later.
It's part of this whole story section. I'm just kind of condensing it a bit.
True.
More so than this movie condensed it. Basically, I'm just picking up the key plot points. Meanwhile, Fox has his own small musical number going on. It's like, stuff is difficult. Need to find a way, and he finds he goes around for a while, ends up finding a whole old I'll just like bunker down in. It's like, oh hey, it's another fox. You can see where this is going. It's like, oh hey, is this your den? Yeah, I have plenty of those. Like, you should watch out for the hunt though. Bad times. Also, there was a horse, but since the vixen mentions the hunt, it's like I didn't really feel the need to really mention the horse that much. Like, there's several characters in this that like they show up, but they don't really contribute much of anything, Which probably wasn't the case in the original series. Like, all these characters probably had like a whole episode to like be relevant. But yeah. So like, okay, it's like, hunt bad. Want to get something to eat? Yeah, sure. I haven't hunted for food in a while. And apparently, off screen they discussed like, oh yeah, I was leaving a whole bunch of animals to this new place. Like, oh yeah, that's really nice of you. It's like, yeah. You should probably eat. Get back. Probably find like, hey, let's ask this owl. Hey, owl, you found see any foxes, friends? I didn't see any foxes. No, not other foxes. Other a group of a whole bunch of animals. Well, there was this owl, but they weren't really specific of where they were going. And again, I apologize if I'm kind of rushing through this, but like, it's getting late. So they have a lead on where to go, and like, okay. So back with the other animals, like I said, the field mice decided like this to stay behind, like, but like they really Badger really doesn't want to split the party. Elle's like, yeah, they can stay if they want. Let us go. And I remember one of the other animals decided to stay with the field mice. Long story short, hey, look, a bird! Bye, field mouse! Yeah, we have another casualty. Like, yeah, this whole staying thing isn't working out. Yeah, let's rejoin. Like, okay, can't stick around anymore, let's go. Back with Fox, like, okay, we have our lead, let's go this way. Oh, hey, look, listen to that. It's the hunt. We should run. Long story short, okay, let's see now. They were chasing after the vixen. Fox almost got to the group. Fox went back to save Vixen, and then Vixen then led them away from Fox, so Fox could go to his friends. But Fox went back to help Vixen. They both got up the hit. It was a bit of back and forth in this section. Like,
and I got lost.
Yeah, it was kind of jump. Point is, they managed to stop the dogs. Adder actually saves the day again by biting the leg of the horse, or causing it to fall back down the hill and presumably seriously injure the rider.
Yeah, so there was
another thing. a casualty on the other side this time.
They killed someone.
Actually, now that I think about it, like aside from kind of not being very nice, that has actually helped a lot. Huh.
Yeah, that is subversive, meaning you wouldn't
Yeah.
expect key character.
But okay, they're all together now. Plus, they've added a new party member. Okay. So off they go. Oh hey, it's raining again. We need to find shelter. Hey, this place looks nice. Turns out this place is a church. Oh hey, look, it's next to A. A, there's a wedding. Let's just say shenanigans ensue. My son, the organ keys, and also a musical number out of nowhere. Something about animal power. Yeah. Eh, at this point, it feels like this was just padding. Like, need to pad out the runtime, you know. And again, I realized, originally probably part of its own episode, but assuming it's like a standard 22-minute runtime kind of episode, actually, yeah. What was? Let me look something up. Was it 22-minute episodes or was it like smaller episodes?
From what I can see, they're uploaded in two. From what I can see, they're uploaded in two parts each episode.
25 minutes. So standard episode length. So yeah, this is probably its own whole episode with like a subplot or something, condensed down into a musical number and shenanigans. Yeah, I didn't really contribute anything, but thankfully there were no casualties this time. Hooray! So, next up, they need to cross the road. It's Frogger time! So yeah, like, okay, be careful. Don't stop in front of the cars, but just be mindful of the cars. Just be careful. It's like, some of them need a bit of a nudge, and, the rabbits and the hedgehogs, like, okay, we're getting across. But the hedgehogs, they're like, they really want to curl up. It's like, don't curl up. Oh, hey, oncoming car. Don't curl up. And it's like, the guy hedgehog stayed with his lady till the very end, not curling up. And truck.
Dead.
Dead.
This is deep stuff.
For kids!
For kids.
Like, seriously, you go from this cheering musical number, or like, animal power, yay!
Dead.
To, the hedgehogs are dead!
Gone forever.
Seriously, the musical numbers are like major mood whiplash.
Yeah. It's kind of a little all over the place. In more than ways than one.
But they're past the road. They're at the park. And it's like, they should be. They're safe now until season 2.
No one's safe in season 2.
Not that American viewers would know of it. For them, all they know is this VHS. And yeah, that was the movie / condensed series or season. I mean, it's series. It's a series in the UK, but a season in America. It's another one of the regional difference language things, you know.
Probably thought it wasn't going to work that great in America, so they bumped it down to a movie.
To be fair, I did read I think aired the originals on Cartoon Network at one point.
On Cartoon Network, where?
What
Because,
countries?
like, when was this? 92, 95. See, now Series 1 was 1993. Yeah, wasn't Cartoon Network up until like 96, basically like the old school Hanna-Barbera cartoons and stuff?
I think so.
Like, they didn't really have much in the way of original content back then. It was just like, hey, here's our backlog of all the stuff we own. I should know. Oh, I was there.
I was there when it was made. Do not cite the magic.
And it was a Farthingwood Cartoon Network.
Yeah, but you can see if you hit tab, Allison is that. Remember that weird fish that was like kissing the camera? That's what this skin is. It's so low resolution. You can still tell what it is. That's the funny part.
You know.
Armor off.
And supposedly they aired the British version on Cartoon Network in 2007, but but that was just from one source, and there hasn't really been. Apparently, they don't have. There hasn't been anyone backing up that claim.
Hmm.
Huh.
So it's possible it got. Maybe it got shown on like Cartoon Network in the UK or something.
Strange because the Wikipedia page says syndication and Cartoon Network.
Well, don't forget, Cartoon Network is in different is not just an American thing.
That is true. I do know of someone who has some interesting Cartoon Network recordings from Denmark.
But yeah, like I said, outside of that one claim, I haven't really seen anything about it on. Yeah,
Ooh, this is sketch.
and it's like I'm I'm actually Google searching the animals of Farthing Wood Cartoon Network. And it's like the only time the two words really were put together is like, yeah, I heard someone mention that I was on Cartoon Network once, but it's like, I don't remember that. It's like, I was like, yeah, I don't remember that either.
Well, apparently there are some viewers, according to the comments of the video posts, so...
Yeah, well, who knows. A lot of the comments were basically like, yeah, can you believe how bad this is compared to the British version?
And again, I would like to make the argument that they at least did not hold back the death scenes.
True.
As well as not
Dang.
take... As well as not take all the British cast out.
I'm on the edge. It's kind of hard to tell how good the backgrounds were due to the colors being crap half the time.
Apparently you can get the complete series on DVD on Amazon for like only $30.
There you go.
Are you-
If you
are
want
you
the
look-
full experience.
Are you looking at the UK version?
Animals of Farthingwood complete series, 6-disc set. So yes, I would imagine this would be the UK version.
I was also talking about Amazon.
Oh no, this is just plain Amazon.com.
Okay.
Please, Rods, go. Oh, gosh.
So yeah, the series is relatively cheap. Oh wow. You only get those movies? Ugh. It's like, oh, Walt Disney Animated Anthology. Classic DVD collector's set. Pinocchio, 101 Dalmatians, Mulan, Hercules, Peter Pan, Lion 2, Lady and the Tramp, Jungle Book. Wait, Lion. It doesn't even come with the original Lion King? Wow.
Disgusting.
And it's $600.
$600. Jeez. You know if you can bone meal. In other words. Nope. Story.
But yeah, it was okay.
Watchable.
Oh right, there was also this. I believe it was a heron uh, who got a hole shot through one of its wings, so it made a little whistle sound. Like, hey, that's a neat gimmick. You don't really contribute anything to the plot, but hey, you're there.
Cool for existing.
But yeah, it's like it was okay. The musical bits were,
Probably the worst.
yeah, like they were just out of place and clearly spliced together.
It's a little strange. Well, kind of make, kind of like to make the argument that kind of like to make the argument that they are somewhat memorable because if you go through the comments again, there are some people that do fondly remember this version. Though I do know, though there are notes that are some are willing to admit that at least. So there are no, though admittedly there are notes. There are some that are willing to admit that the originals were definitely originals.
Yeah,
There's some are willing to admit there's some willing to admit when when it's untampered, it's better.
it's like, yeah, I fondly remember the original old dub of Sailor Moon. That doesn't mean it was that great. Like,
It was not good, but
I mean, okay, it did it did like a couple things better, but other than some few examples, like, God knows it's hard to imagine Luna without a British accent. It's like one of those things that's just ingrained into your mind after watching it, you know? Like,
do you know what song
just
is ingrained into my brain as a
what?
child? Let me find it. Hang on one sec. Go.
Ah,
Ah.
Could you
Man, I listened to Jellyfish Rave like every day I possibly could. I like played that song
yes.
thousands of times. Probably nearly killed my parents with it.
Interesting how that one hooks onto you as opposed to Sweet Victory.
Nah, dude. Jellyfish Rave, where it's at. I've listened to Sweet Victory times, yeah, but Jellyfish Rave is just where it's at. I'm sorry.
yeah, it's like one of those things. You remember it fondly, but looking back, like you could acknowledge that it's not that great, but it was also a product of its time.
Yeah.
Which is why I still have a whole bunch of fanfics on in my collection that I haven't gotten rid of. Like, it's basically there for like the nostalgia value.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's keeping me from. Yeah, that's basically the one thing that's keeping me from saying. I cannot believe I watched that.
Well, I'm gonna be singing that for hours.
But yeah, it's like actually I think Adder was one of the more memorable characters in this. Just because such an asshole, but actually really helpful as well.
Just like in real life. No. Kind of a cool, I guess, a cool moral. That's probably the cooler, the deeper meaning, I guess, the deeper of the character arcs, and that most of them are just like the same most of the time, whereas Adder is annoying but still useful, right?
Like Adder is a complex character.
Probably the only complex one, yeah. You don't get the depths of Adder's arc. Okay, yeah, I remember I get there. It's and you come up here and you nearly fall off and die, like I did. Yep, here it is. Found it. Then you come over here and nearly.
Meanwhile, you have Vixen. It's like literally put in the so the protagonist could have a love interest.
Hey now. Any Vix fans out there? Vix fan base might consider that heresy. Love the new sound effects for walking on this. What my sounds doing?
But Fox should know better. Like, have you seen what's happened to all the other couples in this thing? Like, the pheasants dead, hedgehogs dead.
If you're married, you die. If you're single, you live forever. Moral of the story: never get married.
Well, now that raises a question. If we ever watch this, well, that raises a question. Do we go on to the second series, or do we watch the originals of the first? Which obviously this was, which I said this was a condensed version.
I know. We watch Gravity Falls. No. What do you think? Finally, jeez. Come here, bro. Come here. 1v1 me.
Met fire
But
with
yeah,
fire!
But yeah, I actually while you were out that one time when getting some water, I was like mentioned like I planned on like recording some stuff and like between technical issues and stuffiness today, it's like haven't really got anything. I do plan on recording stuff like between like MC Eternal and the Final Fantasy VII remake. I actually plan on live streaming the remake recording sessions.
Oh.
So I'll probably post a video up on my channel. It's like, hey, I'm live streaming. If you want to catch the recording session live, it's like, hey, yeah, you know,
Might as well.
yeah, or you know. And if you miss any of it, I'll be uploading the recording session on my channel later. Or if you just want to watch the individual episodes, you can wait for those as well. You know, because I'll be giving people the option. Like you can watch the several hour-long video if you want, or you could wait for the individual episode, so that takes a little bit longer. You know,
The condensed version, yeah.
yeah, like cutting out some of the more tedious stuff like with Minecraft. You typically kind of like the after like the first episode or two, or like the long mining sessions, unless there's something interesting. you usually keep them in for like the first episode or two, since you're still like getting started.
Yeah.
But after that, like, yeah, cut that. Yeah. And obviously with this mod pack, like, yeah, I'm gonna be breeding some crops in between episodes, but until then, I'll catch you next time. Because breeding crops is kind of tedious.
Not the most exciting of gameplay.
Yeah, though very profitable.
Yeah. I remember when I used to play Tekkit, and you could just like dupe items basically with blaze rods. Actually, you could basically, there was equivalent exchange, and
Yes.
it wasn't very equivalent. In that you could just like, you can make blaze rods, right? And you get when you do that, you used to get like 4 blaze powder,
Yeah.
and then you can make a new rod for 2. So you could
Yeah.
basically infinitely
Double.
dupe. Yeah, you could double blaze rods basically, over and over, one keeping one and making the next one, right? So
Yeah.
you just do that over and over and over and over and over. And then blaze rods were expensive, right? They were like 1,000 EU or whatever the unit was, right?
Yeah.
And like a diamond, you know, it was like for like equivalent, it would be like 5,000 or something. So not much more, right? Like a couple blaze rods for a diamond. So you could basically just like pop a diamond in the trading thing, and it just spit diamonds at you. Like,
No, I never played like the Tekkit thing, but like I played like the original Feed the Beast maps.
yeah, that was like really old Tekkit, like, you know, 2000, maybe
Like
15,
old school
2012.
modern Minecraft.
Yeah, like 2012.
Not. I mean, I remember doing modern Minecraft before we had like proper mod packs.
Yeah,
Like back when you had to edit the Java file itself.
not fun. Kind of dangerous too.
Yeah. Yeah. Really messy. But yeah, like agricraft and mystical agriculture, like they're like some of my favorites now. But then again, like I'm a grind addict.
It seems like that's the type of games you really get into.
Yeah.
You would love War Thunder. Because that's all grinding. Well, it's a different type of grinding.
Are you trying to break obsidian with an iron pickaxe?
What?
Is that...
You need diamond.
Well, on
The
the,
basic.
well, on the bright note, I know this pool works.
What are you trying to do?
Well, on the bright side, I know this pool works. Basically, I placed a water source here. Wasn't sure what the reaction of lava would be, but
The reaction of lava to obsidian is, I mean, not obsidian. Lava and water is obsidian.
no, I mean, which direction it would flow,
Ah,
and if possible, they would cause the thing to fill up a bit. So I opened that just in case.
You
Right.
lose the lava. Lava is not infinite, meaning you can't like make an infinite. You can only make an infinite water source. What are you trying to get obsidian for?
I think the obsidian was an accident.
Ah,
No. If as a,
Or like a byproduct of the testing.
I was basically if you remember correctly, it's the hardest material against mob attacks.
Also, hold on. I need to switch over to my regular headphones because I just got a low battery warning.
Oh no.
Dang.
I see. You seem to always like to make like obsidian boxes. I've noticed. All you got to do is just not have a creeper blow up, and you're good.
Okay.
Somebody stole my nether wart.
Switch over to.
Now I am hindered.
There we go. Yeah, unfortunately, my earbuds only have like a 4-hour lifespan, so yeah. And actually, with the mod pack, I got like I'm actually gonna try to eat like all types of foods because there's actual benefits to it. I think it's like a spice of life mod, but basically, the more different types of food you eat gets you more hearts. So it's like there's actual benefits to eating all types of food.
It's a
Oh
race.
wow, that is a wide nether portal.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm glad like customizable nether portals became a thing. It's like because I'm the type of person who builds their base in odd numbers.
Yeah.
So having to deal with like an even number nether portal, it's like, uh, you know.
Yeah, you'd usually have to put it on the edge or.
But now you can have a 3x3 nether portal. Like, yay, this works now.
We're both going to try to get the nether wart. It's a race. Well, there it is. It's a 1. See if he's got some in. Has this guy been growing any? It's a single wart.
Probably should have closed that.
Oh crap! I just realized like I still need to do one more mission on my mobile game and before or 1 o'clock. Like who?
You're done for.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
just going
what's
through here because
this?
that's a lot easier.
This isn't precarious.
But yeah, like fun fact, I've never actually finished the original Final Fantasy VII.
Ow.
I only got as far as when spoiler happens.
Spoiler happens! Away. My eyes. Bold, bold, bold. Whoa. Running around in the Nether is always like tense. You feel your occasionally.
Ooh, another thing I might be doing on my channel. An unboxing video.
Of what?
Well, I ordered some snack boxes.
Oh.
And turns out I'll probably be getting 2 around the same time because last month's box, well, technically it was this month's box because they ship out the next month's box on the month before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, due to like shipping issues, it got returned to sender, so they had to ship it out again with their new shipping service. And next month's box is supposed to be shipping out tomorrow.
Hmm.
So actually, I might get next month's box before this month's box.
That's kind of funny.
I might also do like mini reviews of like the different things in the box. Yeah, just for variety on my channel, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm not just a Minecraft guy or an RPG guy, though I am really into RPGs. Like, yeah, but yeah, I also do the occasional other thing, you know,
Food. Food good.
food. I have been told occasionally I should become a food critic, because like, yeah, I occasionally get like that with food.
But yeah. What are we doing for next week?
Well, originally it was supposed to be the season 10 comic, but
Yeah, seems
Oh.
seems I kind of misjudged the dates a bit.
Yeah, I think they've been quite slow on the comics. I did do their manga. I'm not finished with it yet. The next manga came out on all of the platforms. There's another word. Gee whiz. So if you're into the mangas have been kind of fun, to be honest. I would suggest them. They've been really nice drawings.
they'll probably pick those up once, you know, Amazon's back to normal.
I did the digital copies.
I mean,
and that-
I'll probably grab those too elsewhere, but I just like having like the physical copy around, you know.
it is nice. It'd be like,
Even the like, where am I putting all of this? Like all those books I bought at BronyCon are just kind of stacked up on on my desktop table.
you're like, great, they're books. Now what? I guess I'll read them, but
Because I ran out of space on my bookshelf.
yeah. Great.
I get a new bookshelf, but there is literally no.
Is it? I feel like it's this way. I've been doing Shira for some reason. It's been alright. Like the series Shira.
I heard it's good.
It's okay. I don't know. I'm not as involved, and I've just kind of been playing it in the background while I've been doing Minecraft because I can just like I've noticed I can just kind of like just not watch it. But it's nice to have something in the background.
The same thing I do with Twitch streams while I'm playing stuff.
Yeah. So I get the general gist, but I couldn't tell you many of like lots of the names just kind of like go into one the other. I tried to do Adventure Time for a little bit. I only watched like some of the first one and then it kind of couldn't for some reason. Maybe I'll keep doing it. I'm trying to think of what other series. Oh, I watched what's it called? It's called Secret of Kel. Secret of Kel, I
Yeah.
think. Kels, Secret of Kels, I think it's called, and it's an
Never heard of it.
Irish animated movie.
Huh.
Very good, very good. I love the style. The style is like very good. It was weird in a way in that the style is very unique. Voice acting is done really well. Colors are nice and vibrant. It's kind of unique and it feels kind of weird in that it's insanely simple. Look it up. Look up. Screenshots of it to get the idea. I mean, it's like really simplistic, but it's animated really interestingly. And it's still kind of got me occasionally for some reason. Like there were some emotional bits in there, and I didn't expect that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was kind of just expecting it to be kind of a cartoon thing, but there were a couple of points where it was kind of like it actually. I kind of got not teary, but kind of like emotionally. I don't know. You know what I mean? Kind of
Yeah.
tensed up, I guess, is a good way of stating it. Wasn't like gonna cry or something, but it was kind of tense. There was some deep stuff in that. Definitely worth a watch. I'm gonna try to check out their other stuff too. They've done a couple other ones, and I watched it because I heard there was another movie coming out, and I've kept seeing it in my periphery. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a new company. They've made a couple movies before. I keep seeing them in the background, and then just never checking them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've been meaning to do that for a while, and definitely worth it. So I'd suggest if you want like another, animated series to check out, definitely watch that one. Or that one's not bad at all.
I have no idea what that is.
I think so far, Alex has suggested we watch stuff that none of us have seen besides him.
Like I said, these are going to be corners of my childhood. A lot of them are going to obscure now, but
The other ones weren't. No.
Yeah, it's like with all these I'll admit I was kind of spoiled. Like I had I had cable and like Cartoon Network, and it's like,
Oh my gosh! You know what we should do? I'm kind of in the mood, sort of. We should do it Veggie Tales. Seriously, some of them are pretty good. I watched like a little review of like, is Veggie Tales actually good? You know what I mean? And their consensus was pretty much, yeah, it's pretty good. Not great, but definitely watchable.
interesting you should mention that because I began listening to a lot of the audio commentaries from the studio.
Oh, really?
When in particular, I've been listening. When in particular, I've been listening to quite a bit. It was their second sing along tape, which of course was primarily based around a response to the silly song from Men in Blueberry.
There's some pretty, like, okay, have you ever read the Bible, Sarcasm?
Not really.
Okay, so like if you've, sorry, yeah, obviously VeggieTales is about. I mean, all of it basically is about, except for like the new animated
I
stuff.
mean, I know the key plot points.
Yeah. Something people don't realize about the Bible usually is it's not. It's quite dark. People don't. It's incredibly not kid friendly. Like,
Yeah, I kind of noticed that.
yeah. So like, it's fun when like there's like there's like ones where there's like VeggieTales about like like Daniel's temptation. So there's Daniel the King Daniel got tempted by one of the wives of one of his soldiers, right?
Yeah.
And he got so he was so jealous of this person that he sent them off to basically suicide in a war, basically. And then he took the dead guy's wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and obviously that's atrocious. and there's like a VeggieTale episode sort of about that with like, but they like changed it to like um Larry is like lusting after like a ducky or something. So like they kept everything except they changed out the girl for like a rubber ducky. So it's kind of weird.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I was about to mention that. Oh yeah, I was about to mention that. It was through the commentaries I found out that King George and the Ducky was basically a youngster's version of David and Bathsheba.
Yeah. There's also the one like they did the walls around Jericho. Yeah. They marched in the Bible. Obviously, they marched around the walls and beat their drums and did a bunch of other things. And then yeah, it collapsed after the miracle was that it collapsed after like a week or something of doing that. And obviously in the actual Bible they like go in and kill everyone. It's like what happens. That's just what you do. In a war, so they kind of had to water that down as well. Like kind of dark.
Speaking of watering something down, the ultimate kill 'em all moment. Hey, remember that flood?
Yeah, the flood's pretty violent as well.
Oh, but don't worry. All the unimportant people died off screen.
Yeah. Well, in the Bible, it's everyone is so sinful or so awful to each other. I don't know. It goes in quite into detail of how pretty terrible everyone was at the time. Like,
And then there was that
really
one thing
detailed.
with people getting turned to salt, I think.
Yeah, that was an interesting story. That one happened. It was basically that was an interesting story through. He's like, I won't. That's one of the only times God's argued with, kind of. Like he's actually, like the guy in the Bible is, no, don't do that. That's insanely harsh, right? You shouldn't do that. And God's like, okay, fine, I won't do it if you can find people that aren't bad in it. And basically, the whole idea was he goes there and everyone sucks except for like three. Kind of weird. The Bible's pretty dark. Lots of wars in the Old Testament, at least. The Old Testament is the darkest part. Good read, though. Would suggest, obviously. There's a lot more. It's like Job is quite interesting as well because, like, the whole book's about a guy who's hating on God, basically, for time. Because God, like, killed his whole family, basically, or, like, let his family die. And it's all about...
I mean, that's a pretty legit reason.
Yeah, that's kind of it. And it's all his friends. His friends are like, yeah, I'd be pretty angry too.
Like I would say that kind of has legitimate gripe against the guy. Yeah.
Just it's interesting to me that they would even include that. You know what I mean? That's such a nasty. You know, it's kind of like
Yeah, it's like old school, like Old Testament. God's a dick. New Testament. Yeah, he's mellowed out since then.
not really.
Okay, mellowed out for kill everyone with a flood.
Well, it's weird. It seems like a lot of time passed, meaning like thousands of years in between. Like the flood happens, so it's weird because Genesis is supposed to be is like by far one of the largest books, time gap wise. Meaning most of the books are like about a king, right, in his timeline. So it's like 50 years, 60 years in the book, right? Genesis could be like several thousand years long, which is like no other part of the Bible is like that. Most of the Bible, most of the Bible is just this time period, and it's
Yeah.
with a certain set of people. So Genesis is kind of weird in that, yeah, the flood happens, and it's like, and then they jump 100 years again, huh? So a lot of people think the flood happens, right next to a bunch of other stuff, but it doesn't. It happens most likely thousands of years or like hundreds of years, creation of the world and stuff like that. If chronologically you're looking at it, interesting. Also, it's not a lot of people. Sorry,
let's go on.
I was gonna say a lot of people read the Bible as like history book. It's never says it is. You know what I mean? Or never claims to be claiming how. People just expand too much on the Bible. They use it for everything. It's not supposed to be that.
I just had a thought. So, Noah's Ark. The people on you got the two of every animal, but the other people on Noah's Ark. Okay, the whole thing with the flood is like, okay, you few good people, you go on the Ark. Everyone else dies. That was basically like the thing, right?
Kind of. Like there was quite a few people that were on the Ark. It was Noah, his family, and then his sons, which he had a couple of, and then their families. So it wasn't just everyone dies, and a lot of times
but just
they watch them.
Like everyone but Noah and like the extended family.
Yeah, but the whole idea was that people watched them build it, right? So it's not like they weren't allowed to get on. Just the people didn't want to get on. They're like, no, screw you. You're stupid. They basically thought Noah and stuff were doomsday preppers and didn't help.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, okay, like all these people die, so basically we're back to the. Mind you, it was slightly more people, but the Adam and Eve status quo.
Yeah, kind of. It was also interesting because Noah wasn't this perfect guy. He wasn't perfect because like literally the next Bible verse about Noah is him getting drunk and then getting naked and then him like getting found in his tent naked and drunk. But you don't read
as
that. As you do. And it was like a sin it was unseemly for like the son to walk in on your father like that, and so like Noah got angry at his son. Got angry at Noah for obvious reasons. Interesting. But they leave that out because Noah is supposed to be perfect, but he's not. Another guy. He followed God better than most people, was kind of like the summation. So, I mean, if Noah, who got drunk immediately after not getting killed, was the one God chose to live through this, then it must have been pretty bad at the time, because that guy was looked up to as the moral standard. this is precarious. I'm like, over lava tube.
This has been another episode of Bubble Talk on the Yoda Soda Creations podcast.
True. It's an interesting book. There's a guy that's really fat in the Bible, and he's like a king, and then this guy like runs him sword really bad. And he stabs the guy so hard that the sword disappears. And that's in the Bible.
Okay, so play directly. Okay.
Wait, does this even link up? I didn't even check this. This is a scary portal.
Yeah, maybe make a wall behind it. Maybe a bit more of a platform.
The etiquette behind nether portals is you always stop before you run around. At least that's what I always do when I'm going through nether portals. I don't know where they go to. I never just assume they're safe like most people do.
Yeah, well, I typically build a building around my nether portal.
Yeah. That's kind of the plan eventually. The idea was to get it at least off the lake level. I'm also wearing fire resist right now, so in case I can swim around a little bit. I don't usually use potions that much. I feel like they're kind of one of those things that I feel like mentally, you know what I mean? I'm usually not eager to use them because they're just time limited. And they're a lot of work to make, so you're like, you drink it, you want to use it to its full capacity. Let's get rid of that lava, we don't need that. There's now gold in the nether, by the way.
Yeah, I heard. And wood.
Technically, yeah. I think they call them stems because they're like mushroom stems. That's basically it.
Yeah, actually, I kind of thought that I wonder if I could host a Minecraft server on my desktop. I could do like a miner modded server, like just like mine colonies and maybe a few storage mods. You know, like the drawers.
Yeah, you could do stuff like that. That wouldn't be too hard, intensive.
And it's like maybe I don't know. It's like I don't know.
I might plan a server like that now and then if you put that up. This is on my server that I paid money for.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad. It was like $40 for 3 months, and it's been running very smoothly.
Yeah.
There's people everywhere in this world right now, and it's still not lagging at all. And also, you can do mods on this, but I haven't done that because I knew people would probably just like to do, because it'd be easier to coordinate all that. You know what I mean? If it's like, get this mod pack, it's harder to coordinate people.
Well, like I said, I'd probably keep it simple, but I definitely have mine colonies. That's like you can create your own village, and you can tend the farm. You over there can you can make a mine and mine for materials, and it's a bit of a micromanagement thing, but it's like that's kind of one of the things I'm into, you know?
Yeah. Did you know you could pick blocks?
What do you mean?
So if I run out of these slabs for say, oops.
Hey, look, fire!
Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out!
Nice and toasty.
Dude.
So you can come over here. Say I'm going along. Do this back.
Yeah, like mine colonies, the drawers, and like maybe the simple storage network.
I see. Oh, so if you're out of the block you are using, you can middle click, and it will. If you have more of it, it gives you the new stuff in your bin
Oh, nice.
without opening your inventory. I've used it so much. If you're like over lava and you don't want to like stop and open your inventory, you can just middle click and it'll up whatever block you're using.
Ooh, maybe inventory tweaks, which would basically kind of do the same thing except it would do it automatically. Also allows you to sort your inventory with a click.
That's nice. Oh yeah, like chests and stuff. I've seen
Yeah.
that one where it's like you can choose how to sort it.
But yeah, basically be like more of quality of life things.
Yeah, quality of life mods I've liked because they're less intrusive and they don't break the game quite as much as other stuff. Whereas like if you do like equivalent exchange, it's like you kind of wreck the tier progression. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think with like the simple storage network, it doesn't really add any new ores or anything,
Yeah.
unlike applied energistics. It's all like stone slabs and redstone, and maybe some ender pearls. And it doesn't require energy. It's like basic inventory management.
The least
essentially.
tech. I don't mind like tech mods, but it is nice to just kind of have like a polished Minecraft experience.
Yeah, but basically, more quality of life things and just like keeping it simple.
Oh shoot! Ow.
But,
Bye. Bye, Felicia.
It's like, yeah, as close to vanilla as possible. But with like a little bit extra.
Heck, this new nether feels almost like mod.
Oh, and the map and like the journey map. I'm on the fence for like the waystones. Things that like you use to teleport to different locations that uses levels.
Mm.
Like, but on the other hand, it is balanced in that it does have a cost. Also, I think with the mod, it actually alters village generation, so villages come with a waypoint, so like you can teleport between villages.
I was seriously kind of hoping this server would be compatible with the pony mod.
Yeah, I don't know how that'd go down with everyone else.
Yeah.
And that almost everyone server except you and me has not watched the show, nor intend to. They don't have anything against it. They just, yeah.
Like I could theoretically host the server on my desktop. Like I barely use it for anything as it is, you know.
You could have like a server PC. I'd wait for Hytale and we can all play it. Oh, I want that game so bad. I know I keep saying it, but it's so true. Oh yeah, this is a bit safer than we originally had. Or it's just one layer and it was on the ground floor of the lava.
Should have mentioned this before, but there were some major upgrades to the server since we last streamed. For one thing, I've attempted. For one thing, my thought I could have a house across. Thought I could have a house across a small waterway from Nate's, but then someone offered to give me this place, so that's nice.
Yeah, Ostap gave him his old joint to live in for when he wants to maybe upgrade or move. But that place will work out for sure for now.
And
Very nice of him.
And I've already shown stuff before, but there's been a lot of building going on.
Obviously, the new train station that you saw, which kind of has just become the hub. I don't know. It feels kind of weird in that we chose that location. I think he just started building the train station, and Ostap started building the train station, and no one stopped, really decided where to put it. But everyone just settled with that as the main central. It's not like especially somewhere or something. I think he just saw that place and is like, yeah, I'll build it right here. So it's kind of, I guess it's sort of in the middle of everything. It'll work.
Yeah, if I do a server, I'm thinking that before I put the pack together, I'll discuss it with you guys. Okay, so here are the mods I'm considering. That kind of thing.
Can you make custom packs for people to download? Is that possible?
Well, I'd probably just put it on my Google Drive and share the link, guys.
I see. That's easy. How up to date are most mods?
It varies. Obviously, the more complex ones, mainly the tech ones, take a little while longer.
Yeah.
But apparently, Mine Colonies has been surprisingly quick to update.
I guess we can put it back down the portal. Oh wait, somebody already did that. Looks like yes. Guess I'll make some instructions.
Nate,
Of course, it really depends on what version of Minecraft is the most current one. When that happens.
Yeah.
Nate took this earlier, but this rail line goes to where I originally spawned it, which is now an iron farm.
Basically, all the farms we want running there. Be kind of like the industry district.
And that end of the line also goes to another person's place.
So I think we'll kind of jet off in all these directions.
This is the second version of the bridge that connected the island towards that direction.
Yeah, we've updated some of it just to make it nicer looking. back and set up my bolt to be better. But yeah, we've made several farms as of late. Made an ender farm, so XP is now abundant and basically unlimited.
This is where I originally intended to get lava for the obsidian, but couldn't quite block it up. Couldn't quite block it up to get it in the scoops required in a bucket. Scoops required by bucket. So seems like I've been having very successful nether journeys tonight.
Little death on your part.
And that's my original house.
Just a theory. A game. What was I gonna do? But they actually added pretty blocks to the nether. not just red ones. Like everything else does. Oh yeah, I was gonna figure out where my nether portal. So -265, -808. Okay. So how the nether works is every 8 blocks are the nether is
It's like an 8-to-1 ratio for distance.
yeah way of putting it.
Or basically, you have to do a bit of math.
Math disgusting. Okay, so the first point should be at -.
Ooh, blue fire.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty nice. Looks pretty. Oh, everyone's just dropping. No. I think those are brothers, so if they get off, you once we get all these things linked up, I think nether travel will be by far the fastest, obviously. The train station is kind of funny in that it's kind of pointless. It's kind of just like the nether hub central, sort of. So you can like ride the train to the overworld if you really want to in the overworld. But there's not much point because the nether's so much faster. But it's kind of fun to have a train station. It won't do anything and most people won't use it very often. It's the thought that counts. All right.
Sounds like I either need to borrow someone's nether. It sounds like I need to borrow someone's flint and steel, or try to get one so I can get mine working. Little known fact, this place was 90% finished, so I had to improv a bit.
Yeah, Ostop just kind of didn't want it anymore. It was like his first base. He's now had 3 bases, I think. Oh gosh. Is that climb on your side or my side? Sounds like my side. It's right over there. Yeah, it is. Sorry, little guys.
Now the question is, can anyone spare me diamonds?
That is the one thing you will have to get on your own, I believe. You gotta have the Minecraft experience. We can't just. And it's also not generable. Well, you can't make a farm for diamonds, so it's a thing that people will always want and can never quite get enough of. Well, I mean, at a certain point, you don't really need more diamonds, but most people won't want to give them up because they were hard to get. And they want to keep it that way. They'll never add a mod diamonds as a loot thing, because that it just instantly get farmed.
It's like once you have a full beacon set up of all diamond blocks, then you have enough diamonds.
Then no, now the new thing is
Multi-beacon setups?
no netherite.
Oh,
Heard of netherite?
vaguely.
Netherite is like the ultimate flex. If you can have a netherite beacon, that is by far the ultimate flex. So netherite only spawn. So diamonds are like they have like a 5 per chunk spawn amount. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Netherite is like 2 per chunk. So
And
it's
in
like
the nether, so it's even more dangerous.
yeah, you're over lava, and you're surrounded by death, and it's even rare. It's even rarer than everything else. So if you want to flex on the Minecrafter, having a netherite beacon, like solid netherite beacon, would be by far the biggest flex. And a block, it's like a block of netherite. So like you have to get 9 of it, and so even getting 2 of it is insanely hard. So a guy on here did get 32 netherite, but that's like one block, right? That's like 2 blocks of it. Actually, he got 32 scrap, which then you craft into. You have to craft it with gold, and then you get a little bit of netherite. So it is by far the most expensive block to obtain. It even takes gold. You have to take gold and craft it with. Obviously, gold is really cheap if you make it. Still annoying. It's not like you can't just find it like diamonds and just be over to then smelt it. They're just starting an argument. Ladies. Just got pants on. That's pretty good. Do you fart? That's the question on the class. What a statement. It's an honest question, am I right? Sand farm. That's all that's. All that's that way. Cactus in a pot. Let's see if I didn't even. Hey, we did it right. Should probably keep putting. I want to label everything so it'll be nice. Get on and just know where everything is. Everyone's here. Yes, yes, he got away. He got away. Oh my gosh, I have levels. We streaming. Oh, actually, let's fix up. The Nether makes really weird noises now, like creaking noises. And... All right, we should probably end the stream now.
Hang on.
Yeah.
It's 1:10. I need to get up at 9 to do it. All right. Why don't you close us out, Alex? Oh. International Games Act.
And I'm... Okay. Well, that's...
It was international.
Well, that's an interesting way to go out.
What even happened?
Anyway, so, yeah. Accomplished the bit. I'm getting closer to my getting closer to my goal. I'm getting closer to my goal as of tonight.
What's your goal? I'll give you $10.
Basically where I it was basically trying to find it was basically trying to get it was basically trying to make that trying to get that obsidian pawn to work. Part two will part two will now be in, part two will now be obtaining the appropriate materials to actually try and get it out. Other than that, it was. Other than that, another interesting ride down my down the nostalgia line.
Done the wacky mind for us, no?
And if I looked at this, and if I looked at the scheduling for the and if I looked at the scheduling for the comic that was supposed to be covered next week correctly, yeah, chances are it's gonna, yeah, chances are we're gonna postpone it, postpone it, but instead go to another interesting corner of my childhood. But here's the twist on this one. I only remember up to a certain point, apparently.
A mystery almond.
So yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I just remembered. Are you guys up for another reaction?
Yeah, sure.
Really depends on my side, but we'll see. Bamboo parkour. Ah!
Yeah. So, yeah, so we'll see you later, technically tonight. Till then, stay safe, stay well, and hope you tune in. Take care.